Someone recently asked me how can we make our finances simpler? Great question. And in this video, we're going to walk through the 5 things that we did together to make their finances just a little bit easier. My name is Jack. I'm the owner of JRO Wealth Management, and I help people manage their income, taxes, and investments throughout retirement. Let's get into it. I recently finished a plan for a couple that has always managed their own finances, but because of a few personal reasons, they decided they want to get a second set of eyes on everything. Now, we talked about some more technical stuff like how to save on taxes or, hey, trade-offs of different investment options. But their biggest goal didn't have anything to do with the numbers or the technical side. It was on the personal side. You see, they're thinking about bringing their adult children into the loop. And when they sat down to review their own finances, they just felt it was messy and they weren't really sure where to start. So that's what we focused on. How can we make their finances simpler so that when they do bring the children into the loop, they can more easily understand it, but also so that they're just not spending as much time managing their finances and they can actually spend more time just enjoying their life. So here are the 5 things that we decided to work on. The first thing that we worked on was just creating a snapshot, something that looks like this. All it is just a 1-page summary of the most important financial items that you own, so your assets, and what you owe, your liabilities. And having it on 1 page does a few things. A, it's a great summary, knowing all the most significant assets and financial items in your life. And then it also helps you in other areas of planning. Investments. Okay, how are we invested? What accounts do we have? Taxes. Okay, what's the tax breakdown of our portfolio? What planning opportunities are available? Speaking of what accounts do we have for investments, estate planning. What do we need to account for? Is there anything that we need to update the account titling for? Have we updated the beneficiaries here? Insurance. What significant assets do we need to make sure we're covering? Or is our net worth at a point where we need to update the umbrella insurance? So just having a 1-pager like that can help you make decisions with a bunch of different areas of your personal finances. And the second thing we worked on was important contacts. And there's a couple directions we go here. The first one is your personal finance team. Attorneys, tax preparers, financial planners. Do you have all their contact information readily available? And also, do they know each other? Because there's a chance that they might have to work together in the future. So if you can take some time now to introduce them, they're not doing as much shuffling later on if they do have to work together. The other team is looking at your estate plan, and that kind of falls in 2 buckets too. You have the beneficiaries, but then you have parties in your estate plan who could be responsible for something. So your executors, powers of attorney, trustees. Do those people know they're part of your estate plan? Or is there a chance that one day they might be surprised by it and suddenly have all of this responsibility? So having that contact information available and also letting them know that they are part of your estate plan, giving them that heads up, can save you a lot of time and frustration later on. The third thing is an income map, or just having a better understanding of what's actually coming in the door. So what do you have? Social Security, pension, rental income, portfolio distributions, and what's actually hitting your account on a monthly, quarterly, whatever the frequency basis is. Is it all hitting? Or are you holding back some for taxes? Just having a nice summary of that, something that looks like this, can be really helpful just for managing your cash flow. The fourth thing we worked on was a document checklist, or what are the most important documents you have in your life and where are copies and originals. So you might immediately think of your estate planning documents, wills, revocable trusts, healthcare directives, powers of attorney, but there might be some more personal documents that are also important to you, like a marriage certificate. A bonus, don't forget about all your different online accounts and the login information. We all have so many accounts now that's easy to actually forget about those, and having a plan in place, not only for how to access them, but what they are, can save your family a lot of headaches down the road. And the last thing we did was having a written investment plan. And if you are managing your own finances, especially in retirement, this is especially important if only one partner is actually doing all the managing and doesn't have their process written down. If that's you, what is your other partner supposed to do when you can't manage the finances anymore? If you don't have a written process, they don't have a playbook to follow. They're not sure what you're doing. So having something written down documenting that somewhere, just saying, hey, this is the portfolio. This is when we make changes. This is how we make changes. This is when we take cash out. Just starting with something high level. This way your partner has a playbook to work off of. Now, I would make a note to review all this at least once a year or after any big changes in your life. I would also think about if there's someone in your life that you want to share some or all of this information with. Think back to that couple earlier. They brought their children into the loop to make it easier on all of them. Maybe there's someone in your life you can do that with, because as we all know, life can get pretty messy pretty quickly. So what can you do now to make it easier on yourself later on? In the future, I'm going to make videos that walk through some of this stuff in more detail just so you can see what I do. But if there's something you've done to make your finances just a little bit easier, go ahead and drop in the comments. Maybe you can help someone else out. I hope you found this helpful though, and that you can take at least one of these 5 things and apply to your own life to make it just a little bit simpler. If you want to see more educational videos in the future talking about stuff like this or case studies, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Take it easy.